Hi YouTube friends, my name is Sophie Summers and welcome to the Crossdressing Lifestyle channel. Today I want to have a look at what I call the great lipstick debate. Now there are lots of fantastic and lush sort of colours in our lipsticks, but there are also quite a few different types of lipsticks. And as you can see, alright, enough already. There are lots of different varieties, from lip stainers to long lasting to mattes, pearl finish. There is a whole plethora of different types of lipsticks. So what I want to do is to have a little look at each one of those in turn, find out what the benefits of them are. I would also like to cover one little aspect that I get a lot of questions about, and that is what I call lip feathering. So when you put your lipstick on after a while, it sort of bleeds around everywhere. How I get around that, and the best method that I found for preventing it happening and making your lipstick last as long as possible. So if you want to see how I did this particular lip and how I make it last, please join me after the break. So welcome back. Now I think we'd all like our lipsticks to be lush and plump and last for as long as humanly possible. So what sort of options are there open to us? Now, as we've already established in this sort of introduction, there are lots of different types of liquids, from the traditional twist up top ones to liquid liners and liquid lipsticks. All of them have their own benefits. What I want to have a look at here is the option really between a standard lipstick, and I will sort of embellish on that a little bit later on, and what I call a long lasting lipstick. Some of these are also called pro longwear or lip stains. Now I think the word lip stain is very apt because it gives you a bit of a clue. The reason why they're so long lasting is because they actually dry out and stain your lips. One of my favourite ones, particularly for a red, is by Kat Von D's. It's this sort of format here. It's quite sort of popular. It's a liquid or semi-liquid version, and you paint it onto your lips. Now, with all of long-lasting lipsticks, in my personal opinion, because they are a lip stainer, I take a little bit more precaution in my lip preparation. I certainly make sure that I will sort of put some preservative on there, maybe a prep and prime or some lip balm, and make sure that soaks in first, because I want to actually protect the delicate sort of skin around my lips when I put this particular product on. I always actually use a brush rather than just try and get my shape with one of these sort of what I would call a soft tips and try desperately to get it sort of accurate. I get most of it on there, throw it all on there, and then I will take a traditional sort of tulip shaped brush like this, take it off of the spatula area itself, and then finally finish them out. It's a lot more accurate if you use a lip brush. The only tip with that particular one is if you do lose your lip brush, make sure that more or less immediately after you put it on, put it into some sort of solvent or cleaner, because it can dry the brushes out and make them quite brittle and very difficult to clean later on. So that's a little bit about what I would call the traditional lip sort of stainers. They're very good, they're very long lasting, but you've got a problem or potential problem of drying your lips out, and also at the end of the evening it's a little bit more difficult to try and get those types of lipsticks off. I use this particular sort of makeup remover. It's like a petroleum jelly. It's used in the theatre, and it's really good at lifting off all of your makeup, but particularly the longer lasting lipsticks. So I would recommend that type of lipstick. If you're going to use it, then I would certainly recommend that sort of petroleum based makeup remover. I should put a link in the full description down below. So that in a nutshell covers the sort of lip sort of stainers and the long-lasting lipsticks. Now I want to really turn my attention more to what I would call the traditional sort of pop-up lipsticks like this. Now in my experience, there are the traditional matte sort of finish you get. There's also a luster finish, there's a pearl finish. There are also other types of finishes that may be a combination of matte and pearl, but there are three basic types of lipsticks. Now, what I would say is a lot of us girls prefer to have quite full and lush types of lips. Now, if you are thinking of sort of drawing outside of your own lip line and making them that much bigger, I would avoid using the sort of shimmer and luster types of lipstick, because the actual sheen, the venereal line, which is your own actual liner outside your lips, is quite strong, and they just don't have the body and the depth of pigmentation and colour to hide that, so it can actually look a little bit odd. I find that luster and pearl lips are quite good for sort of keeping within your own lipstick constraints. But if I want to sort of embellish my lips more, I'm going to be using more of a matte type of finish here. And what I want to do is go into a little bit more detail about how we can achieve what I call a pretty good matte and full lip just by using a sort of a lip liner pencil, a simple matte lipstick. So let me just take you through that one step at a time. So in preparation of doing this matte lip here, I've exfoliated all my lips using my e.l.f. exfoliator here. This is in banana flavour, I think. Yes, it is. So I've gone all the way around my lips several times and just rubbed it in. And the sort of gritty exterior of this has helped me to get rid of all the dead skin around there and plump my lips up a little bit in advance. So what I'm going to do is start by outlining my lip with this lip lining pencil here from MAC in shade should stop it from bleeding out. And one last thing is, if you put your finger in there, if there's any excess lipstick, it will go onto your finger rather than all over your teeth. Case in point. So there you have it, just a basic lip. It should stop it from bleeding all the way around, and that's just using a traditional matte lipstick. So there we go. And finally, the last tip is take a powder puff. If you've got some translucent powder, preferably some high definition translucent powder, because that's milled very, very fine. Get yourself a single ply piece of tissue paper. Pop it over to your lip like so, and then just powder through it with the translucent powder. You don't need much, just a nice light coating, and that will also help to seal your lipstick down into place and make it last that little bit longer. Now that's a little bit of a run through on a traditional sort of matte full lip there. Hopefully would last a long time and counteract any bleeding or sort of running that you might get with your lips. So I hope you found that of interest. If you've not already subscribed to our channel, please consider doing so. And the only thing that remains for me to say is stay with us, and as always, stay gorgeous.